Hello friends, I hope you all are doing well and staying safe at your own place. I, C.A. Pujinkapadia, welcome you all on my today's lecture on the subject Banking Paper 6. Friends, as you know that we had started with the topic of payment bank under which we had covered certain topics. So today, before starting my today's new session, I would just like you to recall all the topics that we had covered in our earlier lectures. The first thing that I explained to you was the introduction, under which some important points that focus was being laid down by me were: first, payment bank is the outcome of which committee? It is the outcome of committee which was led by Mr. Nachiket More. So it is Nachiket More committee. Who was the governor at that particular point of time? It was Mr. Raghuram Rajan. What was the main objective or the target audience for this particular committee? Small businesses and low income households. So basically it was to reach out the smallest section or the low income people of the society. Next, what was the major focus of this committee? It was financial inclusion. And I had explained you guys what is financial inclusion. It means all the citizens of the country, from the higher income category to the lower income category, each and every citizen should get the benefit of financial infrastructure, of financial services which is provided in the nation. And what are the basic financial services? As I have told you, it is banking, insurance and investment services. Banking, insurance and investment services. So basically this committee was formed in 2013 and it has submitted its report in 2014. In 2015, RBI had given the in-principle license to totally 11 entities to launch their own payment banks. So important thing over here is RBI gave license in which year? In the year 2015. To how many entities? To 11 entities. These are the name of those 11 entities. Let's move ahead to the list of the active payment banks as of now. So as of now, there are 7 payment banks which are functioning under this particular head. If you take a look, as I have told you earlier also, that each and every name is ending with 2 words, that is payments bank. As a result of which you can get to know that we have already studied in the part of requirements also, that every bank which wants to serve as a payment bank needs to end its name with the words payments bank. Then after we had taken the meaning, basically like what is payment bank? Under this, I had explained you 2 important points. First, it is operating like any other bank, but on a smaller scale. And secondly, it is not involving itself under any kind of credit risk. Credit risk is basically that he is not taking any risk of that his amount that he has lended or given on credit gets bad debts. Fine. As a result of which, it is not granting any kind of loan. It is not giving any kind of advances. So in payment bank, there is only one thing, that is deposits. There is no advances. Hence, which is written over here also, it can't advance loans or it cannot issue credit cards. Now, what is the basic objective as per the RBI guidelines for the payment bank? It was financial inclusion. How to do financial inclusion? By doing 2 important things. First is opening small savings accounts to all the lower strata people. And second is payments and remittance services to be provided to each and every category of the society. So financial inclusion was the major focus under which these 2 activities was being targeted for, that is opening small savings account, and second is payment and remittance services. Then after we had taken the features, as I have told you and explained you in the last lecture, I had divided this entire question into 3 different categories. First is requirements, like what all are the requirements. Second was what payment bank can do. And third was what payment bank cannot do. Let's take the look at the requirements. Minimum capital which was required to start the business is 100 crores. So what is your minimum paid up capital requirement? It is 100 crores. If you want to get your payment bank listed on the stock exchange, your minimum net worth or the minimum capital should be 500 crores. So to set up payment bank, it is 100 crores, but to get it listed, it is 500 crores. Third is, what is the amount of minimum Indian investment? It is minimum, it should be 26%. So alternatively, I can say, what is the maximum foreign direct investment which is permissible in this particular sector? It is 74%. So I can accept foreign investment up to 74%. So minimum 26% should be my Indian investment. Next is, if I'm opening my payment bank and I'm setting up my branches, at least 25% of my total branches should be in unbanked areas. Unbanked areas means the areas which are not facilitated by proper banking infrastructure. Next is, whatever I am having as deposits, where I should invest the same. I should invest 75% in government bonds or securities and 25% with other banks. So it is the quick ratio which is given over here, 75% to government bonds and 25% to other banks. Last is promoter stakes. That is the person who had started with this idea, started with the business of payment bank. For the first 5 years, they should be having at least 40% of the total share capital under their name. That is, promoter stake should not be less than 40% in first 5 years. After 5 years, they can reduce their share, but in the initial 5 years, it should be at least 40%. Next was, what is the maximum voting right per share? It can be maximum up to 10%. So a particular shareholder can vote up to 10% of the total voting power. RBI has the right to increase this voting power up to 26%. Now, if I am selling or acquiring shares that is more than 5% of the total share capital, then I need to take RBI's approval. So it is more than 5%. Next is, at the end of my name, I should compulsorily add 2 words, that is payments bank. And last is leverage, that is capital adequacy ratio. It should not be less than 3%. It means your total external liability should not exceed 33.33 times of the net worth or the capital and reserve. Now, payment bank is licensed under Section 22 of Banking Regulation Act 1949, while it is registered as a public limited company under Companies Act 2013. So this is just a data like under which act it is licensed and under which act it is registered. So here is the answer. Next is, what can be done? What all are the activities that a payment bank can do? First is, it can accept deposits in form of only current accounts and savings accounts. Second is, what is the cap of deposit? It is 1 lakh per account. So you cannot have the total amount deposited in an account which is more than 1 lakh. Maximum balance that you can have is 1 lakh rupees. It can issue debit cards. It can offer you internet or phone banking facilities, forex services, and it can also have ATMs, because you know that now payment banks are having their individual plastic cards, fine, like debit cards, as a result of which ATMs are permissible for the payment bank. Next is, it provides you the platform for cross-selling. There are various products like mutual funds, FDs of some another company which are being displayed and sold on the platform being provided by the payment bank. So it provides you the platform for cross-selling. Cross-selling is nothing. You are selling certain products which are linked directly or indirectly to your main product. Next is, it provides a gateway to perform for all the online payments like bill payment, recharge payment, etc. are being done by using payment banks. So this all are the activities that can be done by the payment bank. Now let's take a look. What are the activities that payment bank cannot do? It cannot accept fixed deposit. Fine. It can only accept current account and savings account deposit. Second is, it cannot issue credit cards because it is not giving or sanctioning any kind of loans. It cannot handle cross-border remittances, that is inter-country transfer is basically not facilitated over here. It cannot accept deposits from NRI, that is non-resident Indian. Last is, it cannot form any subsidiaries to carry on non-banking activities. So this all are the activities that a payment bank cannot do. This is what we had covered in all our lectures till date. Today, let's start with a fresh topic. What are the challenges that are being faced by the payment bank? So this answer is basically going to include what all are the difficulties or the challenges being faced by the payment bank as of now to do their particular business. The first one is, the concept of payment bank is the payments only model, which means it is laying down major stress on payment or remittance services. It is not focusing more on the banking services, because only payments with deposits capped at rupees 1 lakh won't build a strong customer base. This is true, fine, because you know that you cannot deposit more than 1 lakh rupees in your account. So what you as a depositor is going to prefer, you will prefer to switch on to certain commercial banks which are not having any kind of capping limits. As a result of which, the only model that the payment bank is using is a payment only model. It is just providing you a platform to facilitate your payment or the remittance, but it is not focusing more on the banking facilities. As a result of which, this is one of the challenge. If the deposit cap is being increased due to any of the reasons, then there are fair chances it can attract more number of customers. But due to this restricted functionality, the total customer base is comparatively less as compared to the banking services. Next is difficulty in cross-selling. As I have told you, cross-selling is what? You are providing a platform to some other products, fine, to come at your platform and sell their products. For example, if I talk about Paytm, fine. Now Paytm has done a tied up with a bank for selling that particular FD, fixed deposit. Now Paytm as a payment bank cannot sell or issue fixed deposits, fine. But at the same time, it can provide a platform to some another bank who can sell its product, that is sell its FD. So what it is doing is it is doing cross-selling. Now in this particular case, why this cross-selling is difficult? Due to lack of customers, cross-selling, that is selling different allied products, becomes difficult, because if you are having less number of customers, you won't be able to reach out more target audience. As a result of which, though you provide the platform for cross-selling, the person who is going to tie up with you would be comparatively less interested to do a tie-up. Why? Because he knows if he's going somewhere else, he's going to get a wide customer range, which is not possible in your particular case. No doubt, payment bank customers are increasing with gradually passing days, but as of now, due to the limitation of its functionality, the issue pertains, as a result of which cross-selling also becomes difficult. The third challenge is restriction on fund deployment. We have already covered that part, that whatsoever deposits I am having as a payment bank, I need to invest 75% of such deposit as a statutory liquidity ratio in the government securities, and 25% I can invest with the scheduled banks. As a result of which, I am left with no surplus. I'm not having any surplus on my hand. So what I'm asking for is, even if I found that there are certain profitable avenues where I can park my funds and earn higher amount of profit, I as a payment bank cannot do so. Why? Because there are restrictions on when or where I can utilize my funds. So it is fixed 75% as government securities and 25% with scheduled bank. Next point is no lending, because we know payment bank is not advancing or granting any kind of loan, because it is not in a position to undertake any kind of credit risk. As a result of which, it is not providing you any kind of loans. Now you all know what is the major source of income for the bank. It is the interest income that it earns out of its advances. So here, since there is no lending, no net interest income can be earned. Approx net return will be 1%, leading to high volume, low margin model. So basically what I'm trying to say over here is the entire return that I am earning with payment bank is from the number of transactions that are being taken place on my platform. I may be earning a net return of 1%, but at the same time, what I'm focusing upon is the volume may be high, but my margin is basically low. Why? Because there is no lending, as a result of which I cannot earn the margin, the differential margin between my deposits and my advances. In short, you just need to remember in this particular point, since payment bank cannot advance any kind of fund, it cannot grant any kind of loan, nor issue any kind of credit card, it is not in a position to earn any kind of interest return. As a result of which, the income model of Paytm or a payment bank is comparatively weaker. Why? Because there is no main income in form of interest. Next point is over competition within payment banks as well as the other banks. We all know that there are 7 active payment banks. So it is not possible that each and every customer is just going to get diverted to one particular payment bank's facilities only. There are chances that the customer base gets distributed among the various payment banks, resulting into a lesser number of customers per payment bank. And at the same time, the facilities which are being provided by the payment banks are also being provided nowadays by the normal commercial scheduled banks also. So there is a tough competition for a payment bank to survive in this competitive environment, because each and every bank are trying to provide the same facilities which are being provided by the payment banks. So here there is a chance of over competition, which is again the challenge for the payment bank. And the last and important point is there are many legal restrictions. Like you need to park your funds 75%, 25%, upper cap of FDI, that is 74%, then at leverage ratio that you need to take due care of, minimum requirement of capital, certain legal restrictions that are being imposed under the Banking Regulation Act and Companies Act 2013. In short, there are various legal restrictions which are being imposed on the functioning of the payment bank, as a result of which it becomes quite difficult to expand the functionalities within the bank. So friends, all these are the challenges which are being faced by the payment bank as of now. I would just like to request you that please go through all the points that I have mentioned over here so that you can get clarity on this particular topic. Well, I hope you are clear. Let's move to the next topic. The name of the topic is opportunities for the payment bank. That is how payment bank can prosper and take advantage of this existing scenario and prosper the functionalities, customer base and its own business. The first opportunity over here is sheer size of the market. India's unbanked population stands at approximately 233 million. So the main target was to touch each and every category of the society, that is to reach the bottom of pyramid, women and rural population. And the unbanked population as per the last data is up to 233 million. So who are they? They are the prospective customers for the payment bank. So what the data here tries to show you that there are 233 million people to whom payment bank can extend its services and make them their own customer. As a result of which the market size is something which is a big opportunity for a payment bank, because payment bank was basically found with a motive of financial inclusion and to provide services to each and every strata of this society. As a result of which this market size, which is still untargeted, can be a greatest opportunity for the payment bank. Second is simplification. Using payment bank services is quite simple. It is free of cost. Again, it is more convenient. And lastly, it is easy. Fine. There is no rocket science that is required or to understand some standard operating procedure to deal with the payment bank. You can just have the app downloaded on your mobile phone and you can easily perform the transactions free of cost. This is the basic advantage, that if you are having a proper technological infrastructure, then it is like very easy to transact or remit your funds from one place to another. As a result of which, simplification is the second important point that can serve as an opportunity for a payment bank to grow. Because nowadays we know the children group or the age group of the old people are also handy with this digital technology. And in this scenario, payment bank comes out to be a boon for each of them. Third point is they offer financial advisory. That is, money management advice at bottom of pyramid is almost absent. Example, insurance advisory services. Let's understand this point. What I want to say over here is, whenever you are targeting lower strata of the society, take certain rural areas where there is no basically education or the education rate is very low, where people are not so much aware about the various financial products, like where to invest their fund or which mutual fund should they take or what insurance they should go for. Now, under this particular scenario, when the payment bank is trying to reach out such category of the society, it may create certain help desk or it can offer advisory services to the people over there. As a result of which, it is going to get two kind of benefits. First, people are going to build trust because payment bank is advising them to how to manage their money and helping them to grow their funds. As a result of which, trust is something that will be instilled in the payment bank. And at the same time, payment bank can attract those customers to provide its own services as well as the providing the platform for cross selling. So here it is like, first, trust is being instilled in the local people, and secondly, it can offer the services to that particular audience. So the people who are as of now not utilizing any kind of such services can be added to this particular community, as a result of which I can expand my customer base and I can provide them financial advisory. And you all know very well, the one who helps you to earn money is basically the one you trust. Fine. As a result of which, payment bank is having one of this opportunity by offering the financial advisory. Next point is bank as a platform. Can be financial services gateways or platforms to rebundle a host of innovative technology driven banking services. Now payment bank can be a gateway. Gateway for what? Gateway for implementation of various innovative things or various technology driven services which are being provided by bank. Like take example of a fund transfer. Previously, you all know, like if I go back before 15 years, 20 years, the fund transfer procedure was so tedious. I need to visit my branch, fill a particular form. Again, the same acknowledgement is to be sent to the opposite party and so on. It was a lengthy procedure. But nowadays, it is just at a click of the button. Fine. You enter the beneficiary details and the fund is going from one place to another. For example, I want to pay you 500 rupees. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to enter your mobile number and I'm going to tap the amount. The amount is being going to be transferred in your particular wallet. So nowadays, there are various technology driven innovative services under which payment bank can provide a platform so that there is an ease of doing each and everything in this particular field, and especially the banking services can be easy, can be more convenient to all the customers using this particular facility of payment banks. Next point is cross-selling beyond financial services. See, my major goal was financial inclusion. It is not necessary that I can only do cross-selling of only financial services. I can go a step ahead and I can sell various products and I can provide platform to various companies to come at my particular place and sell their particular product. Let's take a simple example. If I want to sell a product, for example, I am thinking to sell a television on my payment bank. What I can do is I can connect to any of the brand who is dealing into selling of televisions. They can display their particular product on my particular platform and they can attract the customers who are actually mine. So as a result of which, what I'm doing is, apart from financial services also, there are various products, you can say n number of products for which you can go for cross-selling. Next is, it provides a platform to avail every goods and services. We know that as of now, if I'm going to payment banks, it is less like a virtual mall. What is virtual mall? I'm getting each and everything. I get to know about each and every goods and each and every services which are being offered for sale by the sellers, as a result of which I am not supposed to visit anywhere. There is no requirement to go anywhere. I can just explore all the products which are being displayed on my platform of payment bank and I can easily select and purchase any of them. Take it any electronic goods, take it any goods of your basic necessities, take it any groceries, food items, fine. Each and everything is available in a virtual mall. As a result of which, again, it is acting as a virtual mall to its customer, which is again the opportunity. In short, what I want to say over here is you can get each and everything. You just name it and it is available in this particular thing. As a result of which, it has a greater chances to grow in the near future. And the last and the most important point, which is relevant from the current situation, it is born in the current scenario of COVID-19. We all know that basically lockdown is going on and people are avoiding to visit the bank branches in such a time of pandemic. When all the people need money or want to transfer money from one place to another, payment bank is offering the services of banking on hands. You can easily transfer your funds from one person to another. So the usage of this particular point is increasing day by day under such situation where people are hesitated to visit their bank branches. So they prefer to do their transactions online by using such technology driven techniques. And payment bank is one of them which is providing such technology, as a result of which this is again an opportunity to increase the entire business model. So I hope you are clear with the points that I have mentioned over here. So we have covered basically two questions today. First was the challenges and second is the opportunities. I would just like to request you to take a quick overview on all the points of opportunities that I have mentioned over here. Well, friends, I hope you are clear with the two questions that we had covered today. First was the challenges which are being faced by the payment bank. Second are the opportunities that are available for the payment bank to grow. So friends, in the next lecture, what I'm going to do is, initially I'm going to take the revision of the entire topics that I have covered in this particular lecture. So in case if you have missed out any topic, you are going to get a deep knowledge on that particular part. And we are just left with one topic, that is future of payments bank, that we are going to cover in the upcoming lecture. So with this, I, CA Pujin Kapadia, thank you all for your patient listening and hope to see you soon in my next lecture. Thank you, friends.